Hello and welcome back to another new edition of Windows and Current Affairs, and today we embark, of course, nothing much better to talk about more than the tourism in the season winter, because Egypt is considered one of the top and best and the most charming destinations when it comes to especially this time of the year, the winter season. Marvelous weather, beautiful locations, and of course a destination to be visited and enjoying your time in during that part of the year. And you can never find a warm weather compared to other countries with the bad weather, with the wet the circumstances. You could find Egypt, and you could find all the activities that you could do in winter here in Egypt. That's why today we're going to be talking about that. Also, we're going to be talking about the archaeological discoveries that Egyptians will wake up every day and find out about it. It's becoming normal to us, because Egypt is floating over history and monuments, of course. And we're going to also be talking about the new plans for the Ministry of Tourism to be able to facilitate and present the new Republic of Egypt to the new visitors who are coming over to Egypt. We're very delighted to be having with us here live in the studio Mr. Salah Hedayet, and he is a tourism expert.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Good morning. Nice to meet you here, Mr. Salah. Let us first talk about all year around, Egypt is one of the best destinations, but especially the winter season, Egypt is one of the unique destinations on the tourism map. If you'd like to elaborate.
Okay. First, Egypt location make Egypt very distinguished about the location and the weather and atmosphere in Egypt. So the people around the world escaped from the chilly and the cold weather and come to Egypt to feel the warm weather. Plus that we have the most remarkable historical sites and also different patterns of the tourism in Egypt. So it's not just about the weather, but about history, about culture. It's so different. All over the world we have some places more warm than Egypt, but the value of Egypt, it's make Egypt more important for them to come. So they escaped from the chilly weather. Like today, I think in Canada it's minus 15 in morning. So in Egypt here it's so warm, so they can escape from this very cold weather to come to Egypt and discover the new culture and the new world from them. So they can find history, they can find entertainment in the same time. Even they can go for Hurghada, Sharm el-Sheikh, like beaches, places to enjoy with the sea also.
Talking about beaches, and in the winter season, it's something that is magical for Europeans and for American people and from all the people from continents that are really very cold, that winter is a harsh place to live in. And the idea of having a beach in winter to go to, where the weather is beautiful and sunny and mild and of course environmental free, like Sharm el-Sheikh and Luxor, and it's totally clean, and of course you can find all the services that you can dream of, and beautiful hotels and all that you can find it in Hurghada, in Sharm el-Sheikh, in Dahab, in Nuweiba, all these parts in Egypt. These are hidden treasures. But with the conference tourism and with all the activities and entertainment activities that the President Abdel Fattah Sisi have been launching for almost 7 years, it became popular. It became very well known to everybody. So talk to us about the importance of those places, and let's talk about each place one by one.
Okay. First, let's talk about the side of Egypt. This is the eastern side for the Red Sea cities, like Hurghada, Nuweiba, Ras Muhammad, even Sharm el-Sheikh, Dahab, Taba, to escape from the very cold weather in Europe. And
even
then
Sinai.
Even all Sinai, yes. To escape from there and then come to other side in the world.
Why is that Sinai? Because Sinai was at the back of the minds of the whole world before, 30 years before, looked like it represented like a place that is filled with terrorist people, was unstable, insecure, which were rumors. It was very exaggerated.
Yeah, exactly.
But now Sinai is regarded as a haven for tourism, a tourism haven for people to visit. Imagine what did President Abdel Fattah Sisi have done, especially to that particular spot with the tunnels, with the hotspots, with all that. You have created of it a totally new place that is most wanted to be visited by visitors.
It's so honor. I am so honored to say that I was a part on. I am a soldier. I was a soldier in the Egyptian army at 2017 and 2018 during the general mission in north of Sinai. So I see that with my eyes when it start to have the war against terrorists, and then I am a part or a member for the tourism industry. So for every time tourists come and ask me about that, I said, so it's so safe because I know what happened in this mission. Now all the world talk about Sinai. All the world talk about Sinai. It's the most best places to visit in the world. Even just before 5 years or 6 years, it was the most dangerous places in the world. But after 6 years and the effort of Egyptian army, the efforts of our president Fattah al-Sisi, now it's the best place to visit, even to enjoy by everything there.
Not only for tourism, but also a logistic hub, and also a very place for a very good opportunity for foreign investment.
Exactly.
I
Exactly,
mean,
because it's
lots of
safe.
opportunities are found in Sinai.
Sure, everything now, it's have industry, new project, even for tourism, new resorts start to open again. Even before, after the revolutions, a lot of resorts in Sharm el-Sheikh was closed. Now they start to reopen again, and we start to open new resorts and hotels there. Even according to the numbers and it's announced from the tourism ministry, last year 2022, 13 million tourists come to Egypt to visit and enjoy in our country, especially in Hurghada and Sharm el-Sheikh, and also especially after the COP27 it held there in Sharm el-Sheikh. All the world now looking for Sharm el-Sheikh beauty, all Sinai beauty. So now to come, we need to see the beaches. Even after the efforts of our Ministry of Tourism, former ministry, Dr. Khalid Al-Anani and then Dr. Ahmed Isa, they have a solution for the complicated problem. People who come to beaches don't want to go to see monuments. And for culture and classic tourism, it's more valuable because the guest who come to visit, he pay for tickets, for see historical places, for also hotels, for transportation. So he makes some addition tours. But to come to enjoy with just the beaches, he just pay for beach and no more. So now start to make an opening. They opened museum of Sharm el-Sheikh and bought some artifacts from the collection of Tutankhamun to make people come to see the museum. Even another museum in Hurghada. So it's make people, okay, let's try to have a full day or a day tour to Cairo to see pyramid and see the museum, and then start to make an airline, between Sharm el-Sheikh and Luxor, Sharm el-Sheikh, Aswan, also for Hurghada to make it easier. So he can now have transported by cars or by flight, so make it easy to them to go to see everything. So he don't need now to travel and have a new reservation for a hotel. No, just take a flight, have a ticket, go to see Luxor, and then back again at night. It's enrich more about the facilities for the tourism and for tourists to move around the country.
Exactly, but let's again go back to those places, those resorts. Those resorts are characterized by being good for that particular time of the year, the winter season. Why? And you can enjoy the beach, you can enjoy the activities, there are places for snorkeling like Ras Muhammad, which is one of the, we saw it over social media and everywhere. There is nothing, no place on earth compared to Ras Muhammad. When you go underneath and see the coral reefs and see the exotic marine life and everything. Talk to us about Ras Muhammad.
Okay, Ras Muhammad, it's as you see, or as you said exactly, no more to add. So now they start to move, I said again, from the cold weather to come to Egypt. But then when they come to Ras Muhammad or Sharm el-Sheikh or all the Red Sea cities, find so warm. So they can go for sea and enjoy by all the sea life in Egypt. Even the coral reefs in Egypt, it's nothing in the world looking like we have here. Even the effort of the environmental ministry to keep this social life or sea life still stand for all these years and keep it clean, it may encourage them to come again more and more. Before 3 days, I have a guest from Latvia. He came to Egypt for 10 times.
10 times.
10 times.
Where did he go?
He go for everywhere. So this time he decided to go, okay, let's go now to go to Cairo, see the pyramid and the museum. So I met him here. But he, for 9 times, he came exactly to see Red Sea and enjoy by the life there. Even now he started to speak Arabic very well. He said, I never see another place like Sharm el-Sheikh before. He can find. Now, new museum, make him visit, have a side of our history. Even he enjoy by all the Bedouin lives and Bedouin social life, like to go for desert, have a Bedouin night, or camping, safari, also go for snorkeling, for diving. So it's now be full activities be there. So that's why Ras Muhammad, especially Ras Muhammad, for the coral reefs and also for Sharm el-Sheikh or Gada, be a world trend. All over the world, everyone want to come to see Red Sea, and also for the new world trend now, it's Siwa oasis. Everyone now want to go to see this oasis. It's being like a heaven for them.
What other activities are provided besides the beaches and spending a time sunbathing and taking a tan and swimming and snorkeling? Is there nightlife? I mean, there are other activities?
Yep, he can go also. Now they have a lot of shops, so he can add a shopping tour, a city tour. Now after the conference COP27, the city of Sharm el-Sheikh being looking more different.
No, of course everybody now knows, the whole world knows about Sharm el-Sheikh. But talking about those beautiful hidden treasures like Ras Muhammad, like there are very, very beautiful places that even we Egyptians, we haven't even had the opportunity to see most of it. Wadi Gimel, there are beautiful places. Talk to us about it. They say it's beautiful.
Yep.
Crystal clear water.
Exactly.
Mild weather, very sunny.
Yes, that's why they enjoy by all the day to have this sea life, to go for beaches, go for have a snorkeling, also for diving in Ras Muhammad and different places. And now also they start to add Dahab more. They want to go to see Dahab. Also,
what is Dahab characterized by?
Dahab characterized by the quiet place. It's not crowded like Sharm el-Sheikh, because now Sharm el-Sheikh be more crowded after the tourism movement. So Dahab, it's more quiet. Have also like a blue hole, blue lagoon, 3 pools. Have also different places like this blue hole. It's a dark blue hole in the sea. So they start to make a diving inside this blue hole to see like a cave inside the Red Sea. Let's say for 3 pools. Even also it's 3 circles, dark blue in the sea, and even the whole area it have a light blue color. But exactly these 3 pools they are going to enjoy, because you want to know why this place is so dark more than any place. Now they start to go for Saint Catherine mountain to go for climbing and go up until the top and then visit Saint Catherine monastery. So this area not just for beaches nowadays, but it start to have more activities, more than any time before. And also after a lot of Egyptians start to move to see how the Dahab is beautiful and how Sharm el-Sheikh, Nuweiba, for other sides, Hurghada, Nuweiba, Gona, also Safaga, start to enjoy more about the other side of the sea. Because before a month I have a friend from Sharm el-Sheikh and they told me for every site in these cities have different kind of fishes you can see, another kind of coral reefs you can see. So you start to, okay.
And there is also the safari.
Exactly, safari being morning in the desert. And they now start to have some places to have a Bedouin night inside there. So go by camels, go by quiet bike and start to have your night there by folk shows like Tanura, like belly dancer, enjoy for the music. You can dance, you can spend all the night there in the mountain and camp, and then come again in the morning to back again to your hotel to rest. So a lot of activities start to have there, not just about to go to the sea or still inside your hotel. And sure, it's reflected for our industry now, for the income start to raise up more than any time before.
And there is also the wildlife tourism, which is also, they would take you on a tour to see the wild species inside the desert.
Exactly. Now start another new trend after
The
ministry.
endangered species are there.
No, thank God, it's not no dangerous places in
No,
Egypt.
endangered. I mean, the
Endangered.
very rare species of animals, of birds, of
Exactly, start to have it, and I want to say it about the black and white desert in the Western Desert. After short clip, start to add it to the new promotion campaign for the Ministry of Tourism, Follow the Sun, because we want to have a sunny weather. People start to ask about the the white and black desert. Start to go for see these caves inside the mountains there. Start to see this crystal desert by the shapes there, by natural statues up there. So the people want to see that. So start to plan for it. Have a 2 days and 1 night to see the black and white desert and have a camp inside the desert. So it's a new pattern start to use in Egypt. People before, we can say about 10 years, just thought about Egypt. It's go for Sharm el-Sheikh or go for Galat, sea beaches, go for Cairo and Luxor and Aswan for the classic and the historical tourism. But now start to have new patterns like camping tourism, like meditation, like therapist and also medical conference. We start to make
That's
our
true.
yes.
That's true. Speaking about meditation, there are spaces in Siwa, I mean,
In Siwa, yeah.
and other places in that neighborhood, and those areas where you are living on organic food and you do not use electricity at all.
Exactly.
And it's totally environment friendly, and the weather there is beautiful. You live in salt caves, and talk to us about that experience. And it's really, and it's not that expensive.
No, it's not expensive, but it's about the value.
There are
of it.
hotels like that.
Yeah.
Where you only live on candle light,
yes.
And
It's an
you do not
ecotourism
use
now.
the cell phones, nothing.
Exactly, it's an ecotourism now.
What exactly is that program? Because it's fascinated for European people. I've met European friends, and they said they've never ever gone to a place similar to hotels like that.
Yes, the hotel there, it's an eco, encourage the ecotourism now in Egypt. It's part of the Egypt Sea Oasis. So they go there, no cell phone, no electricity, just candles, organic food. So you have a green movement now for yourself. Just to go and enjoy your life without cell phone, without anything, like quiet place. So you just go for meditation to change your power, change your negative and the positive energy. Just to go for sparkling, go for Shali, the old city, there to see the temples. So now we have some historical places. Also,
Where exactly are those places so that people who are watching us abroad could be able to visit?
yeah, it's around Siwa Oasis. They just go for Siwa and Shali, and also
Those hotels are located there?
yeah, this hotel, it's all the hotels there in the same way. No electricity, all candles, no cell phones. You enjoy by your life as our life, without anything change your mind there, make you sad.
And plant-based food?
Plant-based food, that's it. You just go for meditation.
It's happened.
Go for salt lakes. It's used as therapeutic now.
Of course.
So go for salt lakes, for springs, lakes also go there.
They have
No
lots
more.
of springs there.
A lot of springs there. yeah.
Okay, talking about salt lakes and El Wahet.
Exactly.
And we have been in Wahet, have been shooting there, and we have seen beautiful springs and beautiful salt lakes and places. And how many people have we seen there? Numerous, I mean, lots of nationalities coming over for medical reasons, and some for as a healthy trip.
Yes.
And they use the salt lakes, and they take a dip inside,
Yeah.
and it's beautiful. Talk to us about Al Wahed and Al Kharga.
Yeah, for Wahat, like Al Kharga, like Al Dakhlak, Farafra, Bahariya, and also Siwa, also Paris, Oasis. It's two located for so close from Al Kharga. We have in the Wadi Gadid government, so all this area have the same sparklings, have same salt lakes, and you enjoy your life. Nothing more, no traffic, no crowded, very good people. I go there for 2 times before visit all the 5 oases. I really enjoyed there. And also people start now to need to know more about the project of the palm trees and the new project Egypt to use the palm and the dates to export it. So the people start to take in it now and make them people in them countries test it and then come again. We want to have more.
So palm trees are planted everywhere or at specific places?
No, we in Egypt we have palm trees everywhere, but in oasis, like especially in Siwa and the Kharga, this kind of palm it's very very rare kinds. That's why some kind of the dates be very expensive more than anything more. And now Egypt have a very high ranking for
the dates.
For date
but
exporting.
Speaking about
also.
that particular, those particular things to eat, I mean delicacies to take, not only the dates, there is hibiscus.
Yes,
and there
hibiscus
is,
and also olive oil.
And olive oil. No, I mean those delicacies like the dates.
Yeah.
There are other types of food that you can eat, the dry food, the dried fruits that we possess.
Yes.
And dome and all these where you can eat and enjoy. You can eat in a special way, of course, and it's very healthy, very nutritious.
Exactly, that's what I said all time. For Egypt, it's a very, very special country. Even for every single region in Egypt, it's looking so different from other regions for neighbor like them. Like in Cairo or in Delta, in Alexandria, Eastern Desert, Western Desert. For South, like in Luxor, people in Luxor are so different for people for Sohag, for Aswan. Even Luxor in the middle, but the phonetics, the social life, them traditionals.
You mean the folklore?
Even the music.
The music, yes.
It's so different.
Aswan. Aswan is also very popular.
It's a paradise.
It's paradise because of the history, Nubian history, because of the folklore, because of the texture of the places and the buildings there, and because of the River Nile, the houses and hotels overlooking River Nile, which is totally different from the Red Sea.
Yes.
And because of the food, the cuisine of the Nubian cuisine, because of the Nubian also life and culture, in the sense of cosmetics and the oils and aroma and all that, which is also very attractive even for us Egyptians.
Yes.
Not only for Europeans and Americans. I mean, if you ever go to Aswan and you stay at a Nubian house, they give you a treat, some Nubian table with from their cuisine. It's really very delicious and very different. And at the same time, you can buy from their aroma and from their cosmetics. It's very nice and nutritious.
And very unique, yeah. And especially in Aswan, for me, I said the paradise because I feel myself more better in Aswan. Even I go there with my guest, and I made them travel from Aswan to Cairo to leave Egypt. At the end of the tour, I spend in Aswan more 3 days for myself without my guest, because I feel it's also another place for meditation, like Siwa. Even the culture, or Nubian culture, and the Aswan people, they are so kind, so gorgeous, and also so amazing them to meet them. Okay, so you feel really different in another place. Even you move for a new place in Egypt, it's looking very different, and I love them because they still keep them traditionals and them customs, them folks, them heritage still keep inside them, even them language. So to have opportunity to go to move in Aswan, you need to have a boat or a fluka. So we used to go from Aswan city to go for Angelica or a fly temple. You need a boat to start to explain to people the difference between the Nubian house and usual house. Sure, they said, okay, let's try to go to see.
So you take night cruises. Let's talk about also night cruises in Aswan, because I have too many questions on me, because too many places in Egypt. But talking about night cruises, especially that we are in winter, and Aswan is really very warm. The beauty of night cruises, to those who haven't tried it, is that you take a Nile cruise not only to enjoy the experience in its own right, but also to move from one island to the other.
Yes.
The island of Fela, the Mango Island.
Yes, and also for a natural island, for Nubian village, to move
to
from
Agafan, Tomb, and
yes, and Western Suhail and Eastern Suhail.
Talk to us about these places. I mean, I remember them, and every Egyptian who have been there remember the beauty of these places, the magic we always see there. No matter where we go, to Europe, to Switzerland, to the top of the world, but we go over to those places again and we become stunned by the beauty of the environment there and the magic of the place. Talk to
Exactly.
us about the islands there.
Okay, for about this island, you know, it's many of these islands have some temples, like fly temples, and then people also still live inside this island, another island for sure. So to move from a place to another place, you need to have a fluka. So for every time enjoyed by the beauty of the Nile River,
So they transfer by a felucca?
by flukas, yes, and by small boats.
So they live there?
Yes, some people live there, like the Nubian village.
Nubian families?
Nubian, oh yeah, there is all Nubian village, and also for western and eastern Suhail, it's a small village, have people live inside there, and the only way to transport, it's just the boats in the Nile River. So you go there, and our guests enjoyable more anytime.
Are there
no more.
opportunities for people to spend the night
Yes.
inside
Yes.
that island?
Yeah, that's what I want to say. Now these islands start to have like a small hostels or small hotels. So this now can enjoy more, to add one more night to stay in the Nubian village, for to see houses. These people
You
there.
have the Nubian food and you listen to Nubian
Everything.
music and you
Everything.
dance and you enjoy yourself.
Everything. Have them about them coursing, to have them food, to have them drinks. Even for, you know, for the Nubian spices, so good, more than we have here. For the best hibiscus you can ever drink there. So even cold or hot, so the people and the guests from another side of the world really come here and enjoy every time by to another life. Even they go for Sinai, then go to Cairo, then go to Alexandria. When they go to Luxor and then go to Aswan, now they experiment about different 5 socials and social relations between each one. It's so different about kind of music, kind of life, the heritage in every place.
Right. And moving on to Luxor, the Road of the Rams.
Sure, yeah.
Is it the right name
Yeah,
for
yeah,
it?
yeah. The Rams Avenue.
Rams Avenue.
Yeah.
It's very important and magical also. So talk to us about that road and how the boom that is going to be happening when people visit. I mean, it's a beautiful place, it's historic, and it has stories, and also the magic of the place. Is it popular enough?
Yeah, sure. Even after, especially after year 2021, we have the Golden Mummies bread, and then we have the Rams Avenue. In my opinion, and also when they said by the former ministry, Dr. Khalid Al-Anani, he said the value of these 2 events is not just about...
Are we talking about the Avenue of the Sphinx?
yes, because it's the same place.
So it's the Sphinx Avenue.
Yeah, Sphinx Avenue
Some
or
people
Rams.
call it Avenue of the Rams, or
Yes.
the Road of the Rams, or the Sphinx Avenue.
Yes, because it's called the... I give you why we call it every single name, because it consists of statues as a sphinx, but with a ram's head. And the ram's head referred to or represented to God Amun-Ra, the great god of Luxor, and the god who devoted for him the Karnak temple. And they made this avenue between the 2 temples, the Karnak and the Luxor temples, to connect it to each other, to have every year a festival called Opet Festival, or the Divine Marriage. So God Amun-Ra get out from his temple, and on his shrine, it's looking like a boat, have a ram head, and then he go to visit his divine wife. She is Goddess Mut, and every year to now wedding anniversary. So to renew again his marriage with Goddess Mut, and at the end the 3 boats moved for God Amun-Ra and the Goddess Mut and the God Konso, them son. And last year our Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities make a ceremony there to remade again this ceremony, Opet Festival, and to be the oldest religion festival on the history. And also it's about 2,700 meters between the Karnak and Luxor temple. The value of this now of this project to make a new discovery, excavations in the Rams Avenue. It's about
Again, new excavations.
still before last week, Dr. Mustafa Al-Waziri announcing that he find a whole city,
A whole city.
complete city from the ancient time.
People might not believe us, but this is normal to us Egyptians. Every
Exactly.
day we wake up to cities that we discover beneath. I mean, everywhere in Egypt.
Everywhere, exactly.
We're floating over history.
Yes, so last week we have, at last 10 days, we have 3 important excavations announcing, 2 by Dr. Mustafa Al-Waziri and 1 by Dr. Zahid Hawass for the new excavation in Saqqara, new excavation in Luxor, and also in Luxor they find there the most complete roll of papyrus, reach for 15 meters, and a complete one. And for last 100 years, we never find any complete papyrus roll. So and now this papyrus called papyrus of Al-Waziri, because it's usual to call the papyrus according to who excavated it. So excavated by Dr. Mustafa Al-Waziri, so they call it the papyrus or the papyrus of Al-Waziri. It's a complete papyrus, 15 meters. Told us have some chapters from the Book of Dead, and it's the first complete roll of papyrus founded by Egyptian hand. And important also to say, all these excavations by 100% by Egyptian hand. So we find already last week a complete city in Luxor, down the house of the sea Anders. It's so close from Luxor temple, and this city date back for the Roman time. So it's about the 1st and 2nd century AD. And also for the excavations in Saqqara, also the excavations in the Sphinx or the Rams Road, they still, until now, they still found a lot of statues to complete the whole avenue. The importance of these excavations to revive again the classic tourism. The people who come to Egypt one day before and said, okay, why I come again to see the same places? No, we still have new. Even all the newspapers that start to talk about our excavations. So it's a new promoting or promotion campaigns for free. So it's help people who never come again to come to Egypt, because they make sure they will find something new. Also for who come before, he want to come again to see these new excavations. Especially after the documentary movie on Netflix, it's announcing about 2020. It's about the excavation in Saqqara. So the people start to come. We want to come to see the new tomb in Saqqara about the last documentary movie. Even after the documentary series of Dunya, which was an Egyptian documentary on Watch It, people start to watch it already, and they need to come see the new side of our history. Like now, people all know about Hatshepsut, about Thutmose III, about Ramses, but they want to know more about Egyptian kings, great kings. So who come to visit the pyramid, he need to come again after we have a lot of new museums and new historical places start to open after renovation. So Egypt still every day have a new project finished and the new excavations announced.
That's starting. Speaking about museums, of course, I have the questions on you, but I take it from you because you talk about so many valuable information that we need to explain to our viewers. Speaking about museums, there were museums already that were established already, like 1 or 2 years ago, one in Hurghada, one in Sharm el-Sheikh, and other places also. And it is exhibiting very, very important historical, stories. And it's minimal, but it's very precious and valuable to people who haven't seen it before. Talk to us about it and the importance of those museums.
Okay. For the typical answer, it will be to revive again the classic tourism and also to ask people to come to Egypt again. But in my opinion, the value of these new museums, it's more than that. Now we start to have another new movement for nationalism in Egypt. After, it was very rare to find anyone in the street to ask him about Egyptian history. He just said, okay, the pharaonic. Okay, someone said Cheops, Menkaura, Khafra. But now people start to know more about our history. Now when I move in the street, I find some teenagers start to have a new shirts with some Egyptian symbols, like lotus flower, like Anki, like the flanked sun for protection, for God Amun Ra and God Ra, the creator God Ra. So now we have a new movement. So when the people, the guests from another countries come to visit Egypt and find the people, normal people in the street, wear some shirts with some sign, some earrings for girls, some rings. So start to say, okay, this country, the people of this country know very well about them civilization, and they are very proud about that. That's what they made. After the golden mummy period, when Ministry of Tourism transferred the 22 royal mummies from the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir Square to the new Civilization Museum, it was a very important event to change the vision or the view of the Egyptian society. So everyone now when they know you are a tour guide, you are a student in the university and you study history, and archaeologists or Egyptologists ask you more about the history. Everyone want to know more. Even if you open social media now, they find a huge movement happen now, and a lot of every day they have a trend about some historical character, about historical place. So it's not the effect of the opening of the new museums, not just about the tourism, but also for the Egyptian society. And to have a war against terrorists, it's not just about the war, like we talk about in the earlier of this interview, but also about the thoughts. To fight a thought, the terrorist thought, you have to...
Thoughts, you mean?
Thoughts, yeah, thoughts. You have to have another thoughts, a new thoughts for the society, to make people...
You mean the image, the rumors?
Yes, exactly. So to make people more proud about themselves, make people proud about them history.
But the image is clear right now, because...
Right now, yes.
It is not even through tourism, it is through Egypt retaining its leading role in the region, and how Egypt is setting an example to respect the climate change, holding COP27, presenting to the world total environmental free cities like Port Said, like Kafr Sheikh, like on top of them Sharm el Sheikh.
Exactly.
I mean, we don't need to speak about ourselves anymore.
Yes, but it was very rare before I worked in the tourism industry before 6 years. It was very rare to find an Egyptian family.
There was a ban from
yes,
from Britain, for example, for no reason.
For no reason. I don't find any Egyptian family inside Egyptian museums or inside the pyramid. Even I know some people around me, they never go to pyramid. Can you imagine that? But now, after this new opening for the museums in everywhere in the country, I find a lot of families now, the father and his wife and his children, and he start to explain to them the history. And he asked, I need a guide to help me, to tell my children more information about them history. Even for Islamic civilization, Greek and Roman, Pharaonic or ancient Egyptian civilization. It was very, very popular now. To get back again about museums, now we have a museum in Kafr Sheikh. They are reopening again for the museum in Tanta. The museum in Sohag, Malawi, reopening again.
In Malawi, that one that was
damaged,
burned
yes,
by the Brotherhood organization?
Exactly, at 2013.
Before June 30th.
It's reopened again.
To explain to the whole world what President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi have made to save Egypt from the horrors from the terrorist brotherhood. Because in Britain they said that this was a military coup, and everywhere in the international media for one of the activities of this terrorist brotherhood was burning the museum,
they also stolen
Coptic museum in Malawi.
Yes, they also stolen some artifacts.
It was stolen, and also the statues were broken and damaged.
Exactly, and that we show for our guests when we visit these museums. Even very soon we will open again the new museum, Aton Museum in Menia, to tell people more about the Akhenaten and his time.
It's a pride.
Sure.
And unfortunately, we ran out of time. I guess you could promise us to come over here once again.
Sure.
To talk exclusively about museums.
Sure.
And how we have made it in less than 7 or 6 years to make all those museum come to life and to save the museums
Yes.
from the horrors that they have been faced, that it has been facing from the terrorist brotherhood before.
Sure.
Under the hands of the new Egyptian administration. And of course, I'm very, very proud to have you. It has been nice talking to you, Mr. Salah Hedayet, and you are a tourism expert. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for coming.
You're welcome.
All the
Thank you.
best of luck to you. And I guess this would bring us to the end of this edition of Windows and Current Affairs. Many thanks to all of you. Until we see you again next week, that's a goodbye.